I will walk you over Visual Composer Lab 2, Assignment 2. This assignment will show you how to configure SAP R3 destinations in NetWeaver Administrator and create Web Dynpro composite view using Visual Composer 7.1. Okay, so we would learn to create a composite view, add a R3 BAPI, create an input form, add a sort function, create an output form, and deploy as both Web Dynpro and Web Dynpro Flex. Okay, so this is going to be the form that you would be creating with the bank country and the maximum rows, and you would find out all the bank names, the bank country and the city in which the banks are located from the search. Okay, now we have to start using the Visual Composer link. So we would go to Internet Explorer. As I told you before, it's not working properly with Mozilla Firefox, so we have to use IE8, and I would go for the Visual Composer thing, and I would log on using my ID and password, and I'm here. Why is my password failing? Sorry about that. And then as usual, I will go to Tools, Options, and in Options I have to in the compiler it is to be Portal, and then also I believe in okay, and then I'll go for New Model and New, and I will choose a composite view this time, and I'll name it Bank List, Local Repository, and so on. So I would go for Model, New, Composite View. I would name it as SLU001, okay, Bank underscore List, Local Repository, and my development component will be New, and I have to remember it has to be always lower case. Okay, so I will SLU001 is my ID, you make it your ID, then BANKLIST, remember no capital letter here. Okay, okay, and then I come to my work page. Okay, here I have to make sure that Web Dynpro is selected. So I go to Configure and make sure that Web Dynpro is already selected, so this is fine. Okay, now from here I go to Search, and I have to search the R3 system OXFCL-LNT 105. So I come here, I go to Search, I choose the this system. Okay, and for type I have to enter BAPI bank get list. Okay, here, so I would go for, I have to enter, so let me copy and paste then BAPI bank get list. So I will paste that, and BAPI RFC is fine, so I'll just have to do this. Now once I have that, I will drag and drop the RFC on the workspace. Okay, so I will drag and drop the RFC on the workspace. Okay, now I will redefine ports, and I will select input under input ports and bank list under output ports and uncheck the others. So I will redefine ports, input under input ports and bank list under output ports, and I will uncheck the others. So also okay. Then I will right click on the RFC and select test data service. Right click on the RFC and test data service. Okay. Right click on the input port and I will enter D for bank country and 15 for maximum rows, and then click test. Okay. Value, so DE for Denmark for bank country and 15 for maximum rows, and I'll do test. Actually DE stands for Deutschland, Germany, not Denmark, sorry. Okay, D for Deutschland, Germany, and max rows is 15. So I have that, and then I close, and I have to go to okay, I close. See, RFC is still selected, configure, WebDyn Pro is already there, so that is what they are asking me. And then what I need to do is drag and drop the input port on the workspace and select form view. So I drag and drop the input form and select form view. Okay, and then I double click on the new link to view the data mapping, then click close. So I double click, no, okay, to see the data mapping. So I see bank country and max rows, and it's mapped, and I close it. Then I double click on the input form and enter request bank list for the title under properties. I double click on the input form and title request bank list. Okay, so I request bank list for title under properties, and select the compose button to display the compose panel, expand the operators and select the sort icon. Okay, so I will just go to compose, my operators I have to expand, and I have to select sort. Okay, and drag the sort icon to the workspace. Okay, so I drag the sort icon to the workspace, then I drag the bank list port to the input port of the sort operator. Okay, I drag the bank list port to the input port of the sort operator. Drag a table view icon from the compose panel onto the workspace. Okay, drag a table view icon from the compose panel to the workspace. I did that. Then what I have to do is okay, I connect the output port of the sort to the input port of the table. I connect the output port of the sort to the input port of the table. Okay, now I think this thing is wrongly shown here. I have to show this one, so this is the one. I have to print screen, and then I have to go to all programs. You guys can skip this, okay? You guys can skip it. Okay, so we then have to right click on the sort icon and we have to define operator. Okay, so I right click on the sort icon and I define operator. So I right click here, I define operator, and then I do add, and after I do add, I select bank name. Okay, so I select bank name, and after I select bank name, I select close, and I double click on table 1 and change the title to bank list table. Okay, so I close, I double click on table 1 and this is bank list table. Bank list table. Okay, and then I right click on the table and select define data. I right click on the table and select define data. Okay, and select all and then close. So I select all and I then close. Now I save the model. I save the model. Okay, this is the current model now. So as you can see, now what do I do next? I click on the layout tab and to view screen, and then I return to the design workspace. So I click on the layout tab, okay, and then I return to the design web page, design view. Okay, now I click the deploy button and I deploy. So I would deploy this. I would include all dependencies and I'll deploy. Okay, after I deploy, I would click on the HTML view. Okay, so I click on the HTML view and see this has come up, and I will test it using DE and 12. Okay, so I'll test it DE and I'll do 12 and I submit and I get all of these. And what you need to do is you need to give me this screenshot. So you need to print screen and then save it to a Word document. Okay, and this is what you need to give me. If you want to have a better view, if you don't want this, if you want to do it in a better way, you can go to programs, accessories, paint, and you can paste it over here, and then you can use this to crop. Okay, then cut it and then go back to your Word document and go back to your Word document and you can paste that. So it's a much better view, and then you save it as your assignment 2. Okay, this is your assignment 2. Make sure that your bank list is showing so that I know that you have done it yourself and you have not submitted somebody else's work. Okay, so this is your assignment